The world keeps getting better when women make it a habit to fix each other's crowns and exclusively focus on picking up the broken pieces in the lives of other women. With great passion for women, children, and marriages, your hosts, Ntwatwa Evelyn, bring you the irresistible Woman to Woman reality talk show. Feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more about this eventful and exciting show. Woman to Woman reality talk show.
So what else? Why do we have to work as women?
Because when we work, we need to contribute something.
Yeah.
Because usually before people would be thinking it is the men to pay school fees, put food on the table. It's still their responsibility, right? But then it also takes away that burden to them. If you're also doing something, you know, you contribute something. You know, it does help. Some, you know, in this world right now, also men have issues. They also have problems. If you think this guy is going to go out there, work, pay school fees, buy clothes for the kids, then put food at the table, pay rent, fuel, that is a lot of responsibility being put on one person. And if you're, even if it's a relationship or a marriage, when the burden is so much on someone, it breaks them down. You will find that the happiness, the joy that you would get in that relationship or that marriage, when you feel this, that it's only the guy that is going to contribute, it outweighs. So for you to be happy in that relationship or in
you
that
must
marriage,
contribute
you
something.
must contribute something.
And you said, Diana, when you talk about contribution, I look at it also in a broader way. Like, you know, we have nurses, we have doctors who are women. These guys contribute a lot to our country, to the society, to our community. So as a woman, when you work, you're contributing something. You might be contributing to your little, like, let me say, to your space, in your limited space, maybe home, but then also in general, you're contributing something to the country.
I would like to talk about women in a way of raising children. I've seen so many kids, because I've done so many weddings, I've done so many graduation parties, I've done so many housewarmings, christenings, and one of the things that stands out is my mother. My mother this, my mother that, my mother this. And I don't say they don't like their fathers.
I know.
But daddy is rarely there. So most of the mentorship is done by mommy.
Yeah, true.
And I feel like if mommy wasn't working, mommy was lazy, mommy was at home,
how would like, it be like?
How would it be like? But these are all women that children look up to and they're like, who's your hero? My mother. Even if the mom was doing something wild and wicked, as long as she was doing something, people always say, my mother, before I talk about anyone else, my mother come first. What did she do? Yeah, she was there for us, and she might even have been earning that amount of money that daddy earns, because dad literally, but because there is this sense that children have with their moms, and kids spend more time with us, and their energy when they grow up bounces off us. So I'm imagining, if you don't work, what kind of energy are you passing on to your son or to your
that
daughter?
means we give inspiration.
We give inspiration.
That's good.
Our kids
And you're the first role model.
Your role model.
Our kids draw a lot from us. I would be very embarrassed. I know I wouldn't be offended. But I would be very embarrassed if my daughter's role model or my daughter's icon or hero was Nicki Minaj. How?
Why of all people?
I am your Nicki Minaj right now.
What didn't I do right?
Shush already. I should be. So I know that there are times when people have asked my kids, who do you miss the most? And they'll go like, we miss mommy. Why? She works too much. And then it's a good missing. Because in my heart I'm like, when people ask my kids, like, where is mommy? And they're like, mommy's working. She's working. You know, she's always working. Then I'm imagining if I was the reverse.
The reverse.
She's sleeping.
And you know, that sticks in their minds that even when they grow up, they're not going to be children that are going to be pushed to work, you know. They have seen you do this. So you're laying a foundation for your children.
So half the time my kids attend the events I MC, they're like, mommy, how would you call these people? I'm like, they're just clients. They're clients, they're not your friends. I'm like, yeah, they're clients, but of course they're like friends. So in their mind, they're looking at this very posh family. And then they're like, wow. So in my mind, I'm like, excuse me, Black, Bailey, and Blair, this is one thing. These are my people. These are my friends. You're going to have to make your own friends. You're going to have to do your own thing.
Yeah.
And so my son will always go like, but I don't have friends. I'm like, it's impossible. You can't come from me and you don't have friends.
True.
It is like, it's unacceptable.
Yes.
You can't tell me the entire holiday you haven't called anyone. You haven't gone anywhere to play. As in, you can't tell me you're going to go swimming alone, partying. No way. He's like, but I don't have. I'm like, you're going to have to find a way to make sure you have your own
because
friends.
I look at it like with work we get connection. You know, it helps us to connect to the world, to people, to different people. Yeah.
Like when you talked about your mom being your role model, like knowing that she can push you, like because for me with work, actually I started working when I think I was around P6. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because my mom had a shop, like she had a store, and then in holiday I would have to go and work. So that is where it all started from. So if my mom didn't work, I wouldn't be this.
You wouldn't, yeah.
No,
I
you
wouldn't be
wouldn't.
this person. Yeah, like I wouldn't have that, you know, that confidence of like I can do this. So it was. That's why I'm saying that, like the way she said it, that as a mother, you need to do something so that your child can pick something from you. So I picked my life is everything my mom, because she's trained me from primary to go into the store and then sell and then move things around. This is me, proud, happy, because of the seed that she planted through work. So I completely, agree with you. Like as a mom, you just need to work. You just need to do something for yourself so that your kids can pick that from you.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I think we also have an issue of independence. Like people want to, being dependent on other people. I'm thinking if you're a woman and you step out there and work for yourself, you don't have to, always be calling, Bezo, please get me a 50K. Please get me a...
It's so annoying.
I know. Because how many times are you going to be doing that?
Every time we call someone, please help me 20K, please help me 50K. And then sometimes because actually you don't work, you don't even know that these people sometimes don't have. So, it's always good to work, because then when you keep on asking, and these people refuse, you will hate your friends for no good reason.
But they're your friends.
Yes.
They're your friends, I know.
Because they've not given you that money.
I know.
So it is very, very good to to be to be like independent financially.
I know.
There is that fail. Like right now we are seated here. If we want financially independent, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
There's no way. We wouldn't even be happy.
Say it.
We wouldn't be here because
Preach it, girl.
so if you need to be really financially independent, you have to work. That is the only way you're going to be there, and then you can talk with all this confidence.
Dana, allow me cut you short. When we talk about being independent, there's a way most people confuse it with women wanting to be, I'm independent. I don't want, I don't need a man to support me and all that.
We're not
I think it's not.
friend.
We are not that, please. We are not that. We are saying that as a woman, yes, I could be having a husband.
I don't think I can live my life without a man in it.
Me neither.
You guys are very good. We need them, but we need to be financially independent, so that we don't give them a burden. But just be happy. Like,
true.
If you're hanging out somewhere, you can pay your bill. With your girls. Just that is what we are talking about. We're not saying that be independent and then don't listen at home and then don't do this. No, we are saying that be independent and be a happy
find
soul,
something.
help out your kids, your friends, your family. Imagine your mom is sick, your sibling is sick, and you cannot even take care of them in hospital. You have to tell your husband, my mother is sick, and then your husband has to go. Some guys are really nice, but still, let him just sit and then just think about it like, I have to contribute. This is my mom-in-law.
True.
But not because you went ahead and asked.
I was at an event this past Sunday, and I think there were like boxes to lift, because there was going to be some kind of awarding. So there were like over 50 boxes. So we had like only two or three male. So these ladies are lifting and they're in high heels, and then there's a point where you have to go down and go up. So I remember I look at the guy next to me and tell him, how do you feel seeing seeing a female do that? She's like, Bezo, let me tell you one thing. What a man can do, a woman can do 10 times. A woman can do 10 times
10
better.
times.
Sure.
If it was me lifting those boxes, look at the way they are lifting them and where they are putting them and the organization where they have put them.
Yes.
For me, I would have just thrown one there, one there, one. But you see, they are like creating like a triangle, and they have already mentally said, let's put one of the boxes, the bigger one down, then the smaller ones come up. Like for him in his head, was like, how can I even start telling them Kambayambeko? Like how? I'll be destroying the art they are creating.
Actually, when you say that, it gets me to thinking that those who don't want to employ women, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because women attach love and value to whatever they do. The organization, the peace they have with it. Just employ the women.
I've been in a place where the man who owns the cafeteria, when a woman comes, whenever it's a policy in the company, when a woman comes in the cafeteria, 2 guys go. He fires 2 men. Yes.
Wow.
No matter how much experience you've had, he'll tell you, the moment you see me bringing a lady,
Not two people
of
have to
them.
go. Meaning this
men.
lady is going to contribute.
She's going to do work for 2 men. So in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, it backs up what you're actually saying.
Yes.
I also remember a situation that I'd like to also bring out is how I had a friend of mine who I dated for a very long time. She dated for such a very long time. And I remember people were asking her, what's happening? Why aren't you guys like, And the guy was saying, me, I have my 50%. I'm waiting for her 50%. And in my mind, I was like, hey, but you guy, you're so mean. He's like, my dear, your half friend, you call me mean, but I'm helping her.
Yes.
I'm helping her realize she needs to work. And save and contribute towards something, because what doesn't cost you will never value.
You will never
The
value.
reason why women, according to him, the reason why very many friends of his have had women come in, walk into their lives and then walk out.
Walk out.
Because it didn't cost them. They didn't
Yes.
spend time on it. They didn't spend any prayers on it. Literally, the guy came and said, "So an angel."
They were there.
Angel language. And so in his mind is like, I want my woman to also contribute towards
Has
this union.
something,
Yeah,
yes.
and we say this is our thing. So when she walks out, she'll remember what it cost her to come in. She will also like.
So you just can't walk
You
out.
can't just walk out.
My
You're like,
50%.
No wonder.
50% is in there, my friend.
No wonder I've had men who have paused building. They have paused building. They're like, until I find a woman, then I will build. Because I don't want to, after building, she tells me, I wanted this to be here. I wanted this to be there. Let her contribute. I need her wisdom here. Wow.
Yes,
wow.
totally.
Yeah, so actually, even those people are looking, like, if you know you're still searching, you're growing up, just know that guys are always asking, what are you doing?
Yes.
Work. Because you know that if you want someone good, good things are always, they come with an attached value.
True.
So if you want a nice guy, be that very hardworking chick.
Actually,
that also has something to look at.
it reminds me when I was planning to get married. So my husband, my boyfriend then, he told me, if I have something that I've started, are you comfortable? Are you okay, joining me so that we can work together? I'm like, yeah, it's okay. We can work together. You never know, probably that pulled him or pushed him to marry me, and like, she's willing to work. But thank you, ladies. That is all we need as women. We need to work. But when we think about like the contribution, the values that we, I'm also thinking of the knowledge. Every time we walk out there, every time we challenge ourselves to do certain things, I believe it doesn't leave us the same. When you are somewhere seated doing nothing and someone else is out there hustling, doing this, trying here and there, let me tell you, a day is going to come and she's going to be challenging you. These are the people we find. For example, now you're going to ask Bezo, do you know this place? Yes, I know because I've been there. You will ask D, have you done this? Yes, because I've, So let's challenge ourselves to do something because it adds value to us, but also it gives us, wisdom and knowledge. So, ladies, we are telling the women out there to work, that it's important to work, but how do we get started? I am looking at this woman, probably she has been working and she's now off work and she wants to, start something. Probably she has been employed somewhere and now she wants to start her own work. We have excuses. In most cases, we say, I don't have capital, I don't have ideas, I don't have connection, like, in Uganda, how we be saying, like if you know someone, then you can find somewhere to work. Now, if you don't know anyone, you go back home and sit and sleep. How do we get started? Maybe you can give us a brief story. How did you start work? How did you get into the system of working as a woman?
Diane said she started she started working in her primary
six, yeah.
And I feel like before we even share our stories, I think that should be inspiration for every woman.
Yeah, true.
To inspire your children, whether male or female, to learn housework as young as possible.
It doesn't matter the age.
Exactly. I have struggled with so many house helps, and most women in the neighborhood will tell you, but your kids can do some of this work. You don't really need lots of. If they know how to handle these machines well,
yes.
and they have the knowledge of taught them well, you've trained them well, they can start. So work begins at home, really.
Yeah, true.
My mom told me she realized she needed to have kids who work hard. The day when one of her uncles died, and he was looking after all of them. And I remember the people came, and after the burial, people were leaving, and people were leaving with kids. And then she was wondering, where are people going? It's like, Auntie so-and-so said he's taking Andrew and Keza. Uncle Sigondi said for him, if he's taking Richard and Muonge. So she was wondering, which criteria? Like, they're hardworking, they know housework and what. So in my head, I feel like work should begin from where you're raised, because charity begins at home.
At home, true.
When you hear stories of girls who have grown up with their moms in the different shops, sometimes I deliberately don't buy things because of the quality. I deliberately buy things from a young kid because I want to show them that what they're doing is right. Even when people feel like, your parents are lazy, your parents are selfish, you have no idea if that woman is his parents.
Yes.
You don't know where that woman got him from or got her from.
Yes.
But maybe she was in the village.
I know.
So she's also trying to empower this young man or young woman. So I feel like, me personally, it was in my senior 4 vacation. My mom told me, senior 4, you're good to go. Look for a job. I told her, for a job?
How do I start?
Like, can't you clean? Can't you wash? Can't you clean the car? Can't you clean the compound? Can't you clean windows? I'm like, Mommy, you want me to go out there and start telling people to clean their windows? Like, yes. If they feel like you deserve, let them be the ones to tell you, windows, you can do more than just windows. So you go asking for windows.
Yes.
You go asking for the floor. I want to clean your tiles. I want to clean your... Ask for those small things. When you land within the stars, well and good. Hey, but you go out there. So in my senior 4 vacation, I had a friend of mine who was getting married. In senior 4, she was getting married to a white man.
She might have not been your age mate.
So she was our age mate. So I think that dad was a bit of like a man who really wanted to make money out of his daughters. So he sees this white man, because their house was half a guest house and then half their home, because that's the only way he could look after his 6 children. So because there were very many foreigners, guests and everything, I mean, he used what he had. He used his house to start getting money. And I think because these people would actually want, where can I wash my clothes from? Who can help me do this? So I think this guy fell in love with one of the girls because she was really hardworking, and that's the S4 Vakis that was with me in school. I remember that guy saw me one day come to talk to the girl who he had married, and was asking her, what does she do? And then she goes like, she's just a senior 4 Vakis like me. Yeah, I mean, we are just waiting for our results to come back and go to HSC. And it's like, she didn't have to wait. She should be like out there maybe doing adverts or doing radio. So when he mentioned radio, I looked at the radio that I listened to the most. And when I saw the frequency, I went out to that frequency, looked for the man, and told him, I want to work for you. And he's like, what makes you think we employ young people?
I can imagine.
So
senior 4.
Really.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not thinking. I am certain about what? That you need me. How do you think we need you? In my heart, I just go like, anyway, I listen to this station, and one thing that I've realized, there is this lady called so-and-so, who's no longer on air. So in my mind, I'm like, let me come, give it a try, and I saw that I can actually, just volunteer. I don't need money because I'm still going back to school anyway.
I'm picking points, volunteering.
So I volunteered, and after like 3 months, I think someone was calling the boss and telling them, who is that girl?
Wow.
Who is that girl? Where does she go to school? What does she do for a living? The rest is history.
Wow.
But my mom pushed me out. Like like this midwife who said, push.
Go there.
My mom pushed me because in my mind I was like, no, no, step mother, kweli. Because send me back. But she pushed me out there, and by pushing me out there, I would go and loiter in the entire compound, visit my friends. But in the process of visiting, that's how I got that guy who inspired me to go out there, and that is how I began working.
Get out of your comfort.
So if you don't get out, you will never know what
you will never know what. Yeah,
exactly.
True,
you need to go out there. You need to hear things and say, you know, let me just go and attend.
Yes.
Because maybe there I will find a one person who can probably inspire me to do something or to start something. I've seen people who actually don't even have anything. My boss, my former boss before going to Kigali, my former boss started off by being a middleman. He doesn't have the product, but he would go and get it from Diane's shop and tell this person.
The way we deliver down there, downtown.
Before you know it, he began a shop of his own in Mukono.
Wow.
But he tells us he began by selling chargers.
Wow.
He would look for chargers. Someone
all around car.
Which charger? He would run, bring it. Then people started calling him and telling him, do you have charger for this? Calling him to the point that he had to actually begin his own. He was inspired to begin his own small thing. Outside somebody's shop, he began selling chargers. Right now, he's a media owner. Like he owns radios and TVs. He has radios in Ghana, in Accra.
From just a simple charger.
Exactly. But by knowing people.
Yes.
By associating with different people. So if you don't go out there, no one will ever know what you're good at.
Please, let's get out of our comfort. Dan.
Okay, apart from like what I say that I say working like in P6.
In P6,
still like
I was
for my mom. But to actually start working, I think like something for myself. That was after I think I had gotten my degree in physical planning, and after that, I think I was looking out for jobs of physical planning. So,
yes.
So I went to some district that I won't say.
I know.
Then of course, like you have to first volunteer, like you say. So we're drawing plans and everything, and then they were advertising for a physical planner. And then I looked at the salary for a physical planner, and I was just like,
"Is this where my degree is?"
I looked at the transport cost to that district to and fro. So I told myself, how am I going to make it out like this?
Will I survive?
Yeah. Then I had some money, you know, because right from campus, I used to sell jewelry. Jewelry has always been my passion.
Yeah.
So like I would buy beads and then make small things and then sell them. And then of course my mom was a business person going to China, so she would bring for me jewelry that I would sell to people.
Wow. Yeah.
So while I was doing my degree, I was doing, you know, selling to my classmates. So I would be saving. And then she told me you have to open up like an account in Centenary Bank. So I had a small account there. So she used to offer, you know, like some people say, oh, planned kids. Okay, I'll bring that a bit.
Yeah.
Because some people say, oh, planned kids, where is this? People tend to be negative about planned kids. But this is what I'm saying. I think you know, some planned kids are doing well.
Yeah, true.
Like really, it's not like every planned kid is doing badly. People are not showing us those kids that were not planned for, and and they're still doing badly.
Yes.
But they're just trying to show us that small
picture
portion of the planned kids that are not doing well. Okay, at least I would say I'm one of the planned kids that are doing well.
And you are
right. So
other planned kids out there, don't be worried, you can do well. So I was taken to China. That's a very big step. Not every parent can afford
it.
Can afford that.
So,
true.
I believe that is, you know, being planned as per taking it here. But much as that, I would say every child is planned.
Yes.
The moment your parents plan to have children, you're a planned child.
Yeah,
people are just putting a different perception on that. That is for some other topic. But to say, that is how I started. Then I had around like 2M. When my mom was taking me to China. So when I went to China, I saw all these things. And I was like,
I can relate.
When I came back, I didn't go back to the district.
No way.
They called me.
You can't.
I had to make that exposure.
I had like a full, you know, like I had
a bag,
no, we have boxes, we put them in boxes.
Yeah, true.
It was full of jewelry and everything. I didn't go back to the district. That is how I started working. And then when I got those things, I started like being a hawker. Mutembei. Ngekwata ebintu byange nentandika bitembeya.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I got back. There were so many people selling jewelry. I think they can even testify.
Yeah.
That's how I started. I started going in the morning. I would go door by like
Shop by shop.
and then they would think your things are cheap.
And you can bring them to us.
Yes, they were thinking, because people are selling things expensive.
Yes.
So when you're starting doing business, when you because we are giving our stories, don't start expecting so much.
Yeah, true.
Start expect something small from there, as long as you're getting something.
And you can start small.
That is how I started business. I started selling, and then I said, I was a hawker from here to here to here, moving my things around. And then some business ladies who saw, they were like, that one, she's selling them cheaply because she put them in her mom's cargo. So I think she didn't pay tax or whatever, but it wasn't the case. It was just realizing that I can get little from selling something. And then I realized that the money that we were offering at the district would not, I realized if I have 2M, and from the 2M I can get 1M. Why don't I work for this 1 million instead of waiting for a whole month to get 500K?
Exactly.
Yeah, so kubango tete nkanya. So you have to go out there, like they said, but then know that when you're starting business, you're not going to start earning so much.
Yeah, true.
Wow.
True.
You're going to get something small, but then keep positive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't give up. We didn't start in these shops. Like I've told you, Nasoka kutembeya. Someone will say, it's true.
It's true.
It's very true. That is how I started.
Actually, we all do
This is where-
kutembeya.
Yes.
It's just
And even
differently,
up to
like
now,
how we
I
do
still
it.
do. Like even the way you see me here, I still go to shops and still ask. I have things I'm selling. So
You've actually-
come and buy from me.
You've actually inspired me. You've inspired me to tell my story. Actually, me, I grew up in a family where my mom, we used to have a shop at home, so we could sell, those retail shops where you sell sugar, and the profits are
Rice.
really
It's like a thin
so we could sell. My mother could sometimes cook mandazi, chapatis, those things, and then we add in the shop. So that is how I grew up. Now, when I went to campus, I remember I had a friend who could come with clothes. So she could come and say, hey, I'm selling clothes. So I would tell her, you know what, since you're selling clothes, let me just go to my friends and see if they can buy. So as they are buying, I'm adding in my money. So she's selling 20, I'm selling 25, I'm selling 30. That is also another way that you can begin anything, like any work. And then so when I started working with my husband, I remember then we had a place that was not working so well. Then I was like, how best can we really get money? So I could gather my jewelry, a few things, put in the bag, and then go to campuses. I remember going to my very first campus. I found the ladies go in their rooms. Here I am, I'm your lady. I'm your friend. Please buy from me.
Exactly.
So they could buy from me. And then some also picked ideas. They said, hey, Evelyn, where are you working from? I think I should come to your shop. I think I should come to your shop. So they also started their businesses, small businesses, from my idea, so they could come, buy from me, and also go out and sell. So you only have to start. It doesn't matter what, but you have to start.
Have some self. You need to believe in yourself to start anything. That is very paramount.
Yeah, true.
You will never do anything if you don't believe in yourself. First of all, I also, this is going to come in as a by the way, but I think for someone out there who has been broken, I would say I'm going to bring it in. Because usually there are women who want to hear from us, who have been broken, but then have stood up and we're getting somewhere. I've had scenarios or I've had situations that have broken me down as a person, whereby I felt I had reached up there, but then God humbled me and brought me back on the ground, where I thought I had money, and then I realized I had nothing, and then I had to start again.
Wow.
If you're out there and you feel like, oh, maybe people have been seeing me, like I have this amount of money, and then you go down and then you feel like,
how can I start all over again?
You don't be ashamed to start all over again. Because there are people who are like that. You've worked before, then business failed, or something hit you,
or they've chased you out of the job,
So believe that you can start again. Don't feel sorry for yourself in every situation as a woman.
Wow.
Just know you can stand up, you will make it, and the moment you have that belief, you will make it. Because for me, it's been around 6 months for me, but I'm very grateful to God that I'm getting there again.
Wow.
So I want to let you know, even when you feel you're broken, the only thing is to believe that you can make it again. The only thing is to believe in yourself and work selflessly without expecting like, oh, I was in this situation before. Oba oli wali tosobola kulinya taxi, nga kati motoka teriwo.
Linya taxi. I love
like,
that.
who could see me on a border? Get on that border.
Yeah.
You know, if you say, hey, who could see me before? Probably I was this kind of person with my nails in and go back and do that. So don't feel sorry for yourself.
Wow.
Get out there and work. Have a start, but above everything else, believe in you.
Believe in yourself. Wow, so powerful.
But there is no permanent situation as well.
There is no.
And I've seen people, actually most success stories that I've realized are from resilient people. People who refuse to stay down. Because we all get to that point where we feel like chuchkubye.
Yes.
Then somehow
Life puts us back.
It just humbles you.
But it is you, because you see, that's why I love so many people. So many people, you tell them, like there's a time when I told someone, what if someone comes and steals one of your shifts? The guy is like, that same chef you're stealing, I trained.
I know.
And my knowledge is
That's the whole thing that happened to me one day. I went to the kitchen and cooked. I was like, chef has
Chicken, yeah. I know.
exactly. So it's like, I'm never threatened by bagenda kunzi
Yes.
or someone's gonna come and buy my restaurant.
Yeah.
It's okay. The brain behind all this that you want to buy is right here. And even when I sell it to you, because I've probably lost it, so the only option I have is to sell. I will sell and still say, give me a job.
Give me a job.
Yeah, you need me because I'm the brain behind this thing.
Exactly.
And when you don't give me that job, then in the future you call me and say, how did you do this? You will call me and I'll come back. And before you know it, we'll either have shares or I'll actually begin something else that will compete with you. So when you have your brain, never be afraid of falling down. Like risk, when the risk hits badly and you fall down,
Accept.
accept, pick yourself, mpola, baby steps to again
Get out there.
Exactly, and you get out there and you make it
happen.
happen.
Has been designed to have a very good
Thank you.
I know. I know.
Thank you. Yes.
I actually, in most cases, I tell my girls, the ones I work with, I tell them, you know what? Before you came, I used to be in this shop. It might have not been so big, but I used to sell to customers, very rude customers, very unrealistic people. You sell to them, you stand from morning up to evening. So I know what you guys are going through. So don't be here and start telling me, oh, we are doing such an amazing, yes, you're doing an amazing job, but you're paid for it. Please continue doing that, you know. So when you go out there and train yourself to do the things, even when life hits you, you never fall. You stand up and get back on your feet. Yeah, that is really beautiful. Well, we've talked about how to get out there. I hope the women watching us, you are focused and you're purposing this new year to get out of there, and work. Now I'm looking at someone who has been just like Dee shared and you shared, that probably life has hit you. You know, you lost your job, you're out there, you're home, you're like, how can I do it again? Like, you know, these ladies have told you what to do. Just keep believing in yourself. Push yourself out there. You will make it, darling. You will surely make it. So ladies, as we get out there, now we have started to work. How do we maintain the kind of work that we do? Because it's very easy, by the way, to start and you're like, oh, this kind of work I'm doing is really hectic. I think I'm not going to manage. How do we continue? What can motivate us? Like, you know, to keep doing what we do, and the best way we can, how can we inspire other people to keep doing work?
My number one inspiration comes from my kids, because I don't want to see them struggle. I don't want to use this expression, what I went through, my kids should not go through. No, me, I just don't want to see anyone struggle. Even if they're not my kids, I don't want to see them struggle. I hate the fact that I will be able to do something for someone who is part of me, and then there's a kid out there that I cannot actually help. I don't want to see people struggle. If I can teach them something, if I can empower them and maybe give them a skill and help them learn that skill and move with that, I'll probably do that for them. But also I want people to know that we need mentors. Personally,
Yeah.
I would have given up on media a very long time ago. Media is a place where you don't get lots of money. You
Yeah,
don't.
true.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I attribute to the district that she's
Yes.
talking about.
I know.
Media is like that district example.
Yes.
The beauty about it is that you get to know people. People get to know you.
Connection.
Yeah.
That network, as you build more and more networks, you realize that is where your wealth is.
Yes.
Because you know so many people, and then you are welcoming. You said something about I have dealt with all kinds of customers.
Yeah.
I think when you deal with people in the best way you know how, no matter how difficult and how problematic they are, no matter how impossible they are, in a way, some people do it intentionally. I've seen people get jobs by dealing with the
To
stubbornness
test
of
you.
people. Yes.
I
They
know.
are testing to see your patience.
Yes.
And then you'll be there and you'll be sure how you're disgusted, how you're definitely tired.
How you can even just them?
Before you know it, the person you're actually showing that attitude to is like a minister for youth or an empowerment.
Or is even connected to someone else.
Someone you actually need. So when you're out there, like let your motivation come from the fact that this season is only temporary, and then this season qualifies you for your next season. Meaning that if you fail to go through this season and its challenges, you don't qualify to go to the next level.
True.
And then why we need mentors? You need to listen to people's stories.
Yeah.
When you listen to Diane's story, it's good for you to celebrate her story up there. But have you listened to her story down here? Do you want to listen to that part of the story? Because when you listen to that part of the story, then you realize, hey, okay.
Yes.
So you beat yourself and you sober up and you
To
go like,
inspire you too.
then that means but then in age, let me just beat myself up and begin doing something. You pick up from where you left off. But you don't get someone to inspire you. You are your own book. You are your own book. You're writing your own book without any direction. But these people who are around you are a compass in whatever there's always at least one person or two that you can borrow ideas from, that you can ask questions, or that you can follow. There are people you actually see out there, and then when you go to follow them on social media, they will post a particular quote, and then you realize these people also go through the things that you normally go through. But you would never have known that if you didn't have their contact, saved it, and been able to go through their status. Then there are people who will actually never open up about their lives unless you're close to them. My boss told me one thing. When you pour this water, it will pour somewhere, and the place, there are places it won't reach.
Yes.
But there are places it will reach. That means the people who are in the inner circle will forever be blessed and will forever tap into that person's blessing. Why?
Yes.
Because they have made up their minds to associate with them through thick, through thin, and whatever the case could be. So I feel like we should come out of our challenges in a way that allows us to exploit other people. Get to find out this person that I'm working for or that I'm working with, and they are good at something. Why are they good at it? Why do people celebrate them that much? Where have they mastered? How have they mastered? For how long?
Let's
what can I
learn
borrow
from
from
them.
them? You see, even the meanest of people, you can't fail to learn from them as long as you've allowed yourself to be close
attach to them.
So if you don't attach yourself and you act like I know it all,
I know
I can be
more.
battled by myself. My friend, you will fall and have nowhere to actually hold yourself to.
You will actually have no one to hold you back.
Exactly. But when you associate with people who have actually, they'll realize she has fallen. They'll come. They might not cushion you, Bulunji, but they'll cushion you somehow. Even if it is 20% or 10 or 5 or 2, at least they've helped you cushion. But if you don't associate with people, they'll never allow, you never know the things that they can actually help you come out of or get out of for you to actually go back to a place where you probably need to be. So I want to appreciate the fact that we even have something like this that someone can actually go on to click and then listen and watch. You know, just your MBs, and then you watch stories.
The ideas are out there
that are going to inspire you to actually build your empire, because every one of us is building our empires. But there's a story, there's a process, there's a journey. I have a friend.
Because we've all learned from someone.
Exactly. There's a friend of mine that I always tell, respect the process. It's like, process which is respecting, but I know that every one of us has been through, and we have respected the process. The more you respect the process, the kinder that process becomes to you. But the more you run away from the process, meaning that you won't go through.
I know.
Exactly. You will forever be lacking somewhere because you always run out of something prematurely.
True.
So,
how do we keep motivated? Like, how do
what
we...
really motivates me, like, to keep, like, even with all the challenges and everything that is going on, it's basically, for me, I love a good life.
I know.
Yeah, me, for me, I don't shy away from, people can say, oh, whatever. But me, I don't shy away from the fact that and everyone loves good life.
Yeah, true,
Like
true.
You probably have not had the the resources or whatever.
But you
for
see,
me, for me, the real thing why I wake up every day, I'm just like, now people have seen me slaying.
I know.
How would they see me the other day?
The other side.
And everyone's saying,
Watching you.
watching. And she was like this, no what is happening. So for all those ones who are, the negative energy keeps me strong.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I have a point to prove.
Yeah.
And I will have to work extra hard so that I can prove that
Big
work.
To
motivation.
get where.
My
Very
biggest
beautiful
motivation. Because every time I know someone out there is looking to see how probably I'm tearing or I'm feeling down or I'm just like I have
You have to disprove them.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for being there because you've given me
You're the
so
reason.
much energy. Maybe something else.
I've given you a reason.
Yeah, those guys give me, they really give me a reason to really work hard and also provide for my children, give them a very good life and my workers, like I employ so many people, so I always think about them. I'm like, I have all these people I'm taking care of, and they also have families that they are taking care of.
Wow.
How do I wake up in the morning and they have nothing? So for me, my girls, I actually always call them my girls. I have that attachment to everyone I work with.
Yeah,
Wow.
true.
They become, I don't know, they
Family,
become like
they're
family.
literally
Family, yeah.
So
Yeah,
I look
true.
at this person, I'm like, how have I helped them? So they motivate me to work hard so that because I know they're all looking at me
you.
and they are sole provider. So I'm like, how do I help them?
Yes.
How do they benefit from me? I help you and you don't return the favor.
It's okay.
God is there because He's seeing what I've done for you and He's going to bless me for
Oh
that.
yes.
For that.
Oh yes.
So when I know there is a blessing that is coming through this person, I want to work so hard to bless them through my work
Yeah.
so that God can bless me.
Wow.
Actually, when you say the blessing, I keep telling people that one of the most biggest reasons as to why we named our business The Blessing is because we want to bless everyone. Like, we want to be a blessing. I want to hear someone say, oh, when I came to your shop, I was blessed.
yeah.
It is a tool. Like, it's one thing to serve someone, and it's another thing for those people to feel like that fulfillment, like that feeling of like I was really served. So I always want to serve people, and then they get that feeling of like, indeed, you have given us the best. But also one thing I can put out there is I know every time I go out there and hustle and do certain things, I learn. I never want to limit my head to the things that I know. Can I keep knowing other things? Because it's through the situations that we go through, the challenges, that we get to learn certain things. So I believe that when we go out there, learn or push ourselves to do certain things, we are learning. So when you stop learning, I think you stop living.
Stop living.
So we have to keep learning so that we can keep, living. Otherwise, I want to appreciate you, Lady Bezo and Lady D. You guys, you have done an amazing job. Thank you so much. It's been amazing. It's been wonderful. And to our viewers, thank you so much for watching the show. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and not forgetting to share this content. Share with us. What are your views? For those who really want to work, please, this is a show for you to think right. A new year gives us an opportunity to start all over again, to do something. Until next time, bye-bye.
Woman to Woman Reality Talk Show. Feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more about this eventful and exciting show. Woman to Woman Reality Talk Show. You're welcome.